night sky above us holds a silence that seems eternal, and yet, within that silence, everything is in motion. Stars breathe, the sun trembles, and far beyond the edge of sight, something ancient passes through our system, like a whispered secret, an interstellar traveler known as Dri. Atlas. Welcome back, dear listener, to Fall Asleep to Science. Tonight, we drift through the calm between solar storms. We follow a small, glittering wanderer that has come from the dark, between stars, a visitor that brushes past our sun, and yet remains unchanged. Close your eyes if you wish. Let your breathing match the rhythm of the cosmos, slow, effortless, infinite. Inhale the quiet of the night, and exhale the weight of the day. 3. I divided by Atlas is not a comet from our family, not an asteroid born in our solar nursery. It came from beyond, perhaps from another star, perhaps from the space between galaxies. No one knows when its journey began. Some say it has traveled for millions of years. Others whisper it may be even older than our sun itself. As it entered our neighborhood of light, it began to weave a soft line across our telescopes, a faint and flickering thread of reflected sunlight. Astronomers watched in awe as it passed Mars, then moved closer to the brilliance of our star. And though the sun roared, sending great waves of plasma and fire into space, the traveler's path did not waver. Its orbit, scientists confirmed, remained untouched. It neither slowed nor changed direction. Through explosions vast enough to swallow worlds, it simply continued. Imagine that for a moment. A silent traveler, wrapped in dust and ancient ice, passing through the brightest, most violent region of the solar wind, and not even flinching. Take a soft breath and let it out slowly. That is how space moves too. A gentle inhale of gravity, an exhale of light. The sun, in its current phase of restless energy, has been releasing coronal mass ejections, titanic flares of plasma that ripple through the heliosphere like storms upon a sea. These bursts can disrupt satellites, paint the poles with auroras, and bend the magnetic fields of entire planets. But 3, I divided by Atlas, a lonely, drifting body from elsewhere, passed through this maelstrom with a kind of ancient grace. Some scientists believe it carries an unusually strong electromagnetic field, a delicate cocoon of charged particles that may help it stay stable amid turbulence. Others think it is simply timing, that it crossed paths with the sun's outbursts by cosmic coincidence. Either way, its unchanging orbit is a quiet mystery. There is something soothing about that thought, that even in the chaos of fire and radiation, something so small and silent can move untouched. It reminds us of the stillness that lives beneath every storm. In the days when 3I divided by Atlas was hidden behind the sun, its presence could not be seen directly. The glare was too bright, the solar winds too strong. But instruments that filter light coronagraphs caught the faintest glimpse of it, like a whisper in the light of dawn, a small dot steady against a field of moving stars, a faint spark of otherness, proving that it was still there, still following the path set long ago. It is believed that interstellar objects like this are relics of forgotten systems, pieces of planets, or frozen clouds of gas ejected when stars were born or died. They drift endlessly through the galaxy, crossing into new suns' realms only rarely. Each visit a gentle reminder that the universe is woven together by motion and memory. You could say 3I divided by Atlas carries the fingerprints of a different sun, a rhythm of gravity that does not quite match our own. And yet, for a moment in time, its song overlaps with ours, two melodies meeting in cosmic harmony. Take another slow breath and imagine the soft hum of solar wind flowing past you, the warmth of starlight against your skin, the quiet certainty that everything in motion is also at peace. Scientists watching 3i divided by Atlas have noticed something poetic in its behavior. It moves not as a reckless traveler, but as though it knows the currents of space, like an ancient sailor knows the sea. Every turn, every acceleration, perfectly balanced, as though it were made for this journey, as though it remembers it. Perhaps that is what makes these discoveries so human. In every interstellar object, we see a reflection of ourselves, small travelers, carried by invisible forces, crossing storms of light and silence, searching for meaning in the vast, unknown dark. Some have wondered if such objects could carry fragments of information, dust grains that once circled other suns, or even simple molecules that could one day seed life anew. If so, 3i divided by Atlas is not just a visitor, but a messenger from the beyond, a quiet envoi, moving between systems that may never meet again, carrying within it the memory of countless stars. And so, as the sun roars and the planets continue their eternal dances, the tiny spark of 3i, divided by Atlas, moves on, steady, unshaken, unchanged. Its journey reminds us that peace can exist even in fire, that stillness can endure through storms, and that somewhere in the infinite dark, a piece of another world glides softly through our light. Let your thoughts drift with it now, across the gulf between suns, where time slows and the only sound is the hum of light itself. Take a deep breath in and slowly release it into the quiet of the cosmos. You are part of this story too, a traveler within a vast and ancient dream. The solar wind never truly sleeps. Even now, as we drift through the quiet, streams of charged particles race outward from the sun, spilling across the emptiness like an invisible tide. And somewhere within that flow, 3i, divided by Atlas, continues its path, a small and steady ember within a sea of light. Scientists have watched the sun's surface closely these past weeks. They have seen great arcs of fire leap from its edges and bright ribbons of plasma unfurl into the void. Each eruption lasts only moments in cosmic time, yet their reach extends millions of miles into space. It is believed that 3 such eruptions, each one among the largest of this solar cycle, were launched in perfect alignment with the trajectory of 3i divided by Atlas. Imagine that for a moment. A sphere of fire, so vast it could swallow our world 1,000 times over, throwing its luminous breath toward a visitor from the stars. And that visitor, silent and cold, passing through the storm as though born of its same light. Take a slow breath and picture the sun as a great living heart, beating with magnetic rhythm, its pulse spreading through the fabric of the solar system. Everything, planets, moons, dust, and distant travelers, moves to that invisible heartbeat. 3i divided by Atlas too follows that pulse, not in defiance of the sun, but in harmony with it. Its path curves gently, predictably, drawn forward by gravity and guided by momentum older than memory. Even as solar storms flare and fade, its orbit remains unbent, like a note that continues ringing after the symphony has ended. Some scientists call it a relic of another dawn. Perhaps it formed around a star long gone cold, its light extinguished billions of years ago. And yet here it is, a remnant of that forgotten fire, passing through the warmth of our own. There is a kind of poetry in that, don't you think? The way the universe remembers, the way it sends small fragments of its past into the futures of other suns. Take another deep breath. Feel how air moves through you the way solar wind moves through space. Gentle, persistent, unseen, Those who study the sun call these eruptions coronal mass ejections, but to the imagination, they could be thought of as breaths of a star, the way light exhales. Each one carries within it atoms born at the dawn of time, carbon and iron and gold, the same elements that dwell within you. When the sun releases them, they journey outward for days or weeks, passing across planetary orbits and brushing against magnetospheres. Some will eventually reach Earth, creating auroras that shimmer like dreams above the poles. Others will continue, lost to the void, never touching another world again. And somewhere beyond those glowing winds, 3i divided by Atlas glides on, unbothered, unchanged, a traveler so far from home that even the word distance loses its meaning. Astronomers measure its movement not in miles or kilometers, but in calm certainty. They trace the line of its orbit through mathematical whispers, and each time they check, the numbers tell the same story. It is exactly where it should be. That stillness in motion, that perfect consistency, is a kind of peace the human heart longs to understand. How can something move so fast and yet seem so serene? How can a body surrounded by chaos remain so utterly itself? It is believed that interstellar objects like this carry within them magnetic fields shaped by alien suns, fields that may still hum faintly with the echo of their birthplaces. Perhaps those unseen forces shield 3i divided by Atlas now, a soft armor against solar rage. Or perhaps it is the universe's simplest law at play, that everything moving in harmony with its nature finds stability even in turbulence. If you listen closely, you might feel that truth inside yourself. Your heartbeat, your breath, your thoughts moving like constellations, all of them part of a greater pattern that never truly falters. Take a moment to breathe with the stars. Inhale slowly and let go. Scientists often speak of superior conjunction, a time when an object, the sun, and Earth align so perfectly that light itself becomes both barrier and bridge. When 3i divided by Atlas passed behind the sun, it was in that sacred geometry. For a few days, no telescope could see it, but even then, its presence was known through calculation and faith. And isn't that much like life? There are moments when we cannot see the path ahead, when the light blinds rather than guides us, and yet the motion continues. The orbit holds, the direction endures. When it reappeared again from the sun's glare, it had changed in no visible way. No new tail of dust, no sudden acceleration, just the same faint glow, a spark against the endless dark. Take another breath, slow and easy. The same sun that fuels the storms you hear of, the same light that blinds our telescopes, is also what makes the glow of 3i divided by Atlas visible at all. The same energy that threatens to consume also reveals. That is the duality of the cosmos, creation and destruction folded into the same light. To the astronomers watching from Earth, each frame of imagery felt like a small miracle, a dot of light appearing where mathematics said it should be. No deviation, no drama, just perfect consistency amid cosmic violence. It's humbling to realize how far that light has traveled. Reflected sunlight, journeying millions of miles through electromagnetic storms and solar wind to reach a camera lens, orbiting a tiny planet, and then to reach your eyes tonight. In every photon lies the story of that journey, the warmth of a star, the reflection of a visitor, the patience of time. Let your breathing fall into that rhythm again. Slow, smooth, infinite. You are surrounded by the same light. The same particles that have touched 3i divided by Atlas are drifting through your room now, softly, invisibly, connecting you to a story billions of years in the making. As we continue this journey together, let's remember that space is not empty. It is filled with quiet relationships, fields of energy, threads of light, and the unspoken bond between what moves and what endures. 3i divided by Atlas moves through all of it, gracefully and silently, reminding us that even in chaos, some paths remain unbroken, beyond the reach of ordinary sight. The sun's light begins to fade into the deeper tones of space, a soft, gold haze that dissolves into the indigo of infinity. Here, where warmth turns to whisper, 3i divided by Atlas drifts, a fragment of another world, gliding through the heart of ours. Its silence is not emptiness. It hums faintly with the energy of all that has touched it, the radiation of stars long dead, the faint electric pulse of the interstellar medium, and now, the living breath of our Sunday. Some scientists say its surface carries charged dust that glows faintly under solar wind, a shimmering halo, almost too subtle for cameras to catch. To imagine it is to imagine time itself made visible, an object that has traveled through millions of years of darkness, now wrapped in the light of a single star, the way memory is wrapped in a fleeting moment of awareness. Take a soft breath and let your thoughts move outward, beyond the room you're in, past the atmosphere, and into that silent ocean where 3i divided by Atlas sails. When it neared the sun's glare, it passed through waves of energy so powerful that even the most advanced satellites trembled. The radiation, the magnetism, the particle storms, all of them danced and collided like waves, meeting in a hurricane. But 3i divided by Atlas did not break. It neither flared nor vanished. It simply moved on, as if it had always known this path, as if nothing could disturb it. Astronomers call this kind of moment a perihelion, the point of closest approach to the Sunday. It is a trial by fire, a test that comets and asteroids often fail. Many are torn apart, their ice boiled into vapor, their rock fractured by heat. But not this one. Even at its brightest and most perilous passage, it remained whole, steady, resolute. Some researchers believe that its composition may hold the secret. It might be denser than ordinary comets, its minerals locked together in a crystalline structure, born of pressures unknown to our solar system. Or perhaps it carries a magnetic skin, a self-stabilizing sheath that keeps it from disintegrating. Whatever the reason, its endurance feels almost symbolic, a reminder that survival can be silent, that resilience does not always burn brightly. Take a moment to breathe again. Let your breath be slow, as though you are inhaling starlight. Feel the weight of stillness, that kind of stillness that isn't absence, but the balance between all that moves and all that stays. During its closest approach, 3i gedeeld door Atlas came between immense forces, the pull of the sun and the drag of its own trajectory, the push of radiation, and the echo of its past momentum. In that delicate equilibrium, it glided through a corridor of energy, neither captured nor repelled, like a leaf drifting perfectly in the center of a stream. It is thought that this alignment, so precise that even a fraction of deviation could have altered its fate, is what makes the story of 3i divided by Atlas so extraordinary. It did not fight gravity, it simply understood it. It did not resist the storm, it flowed through it. And in that, there is a lesson. The universe quietly repeats that harmony is not resistance, it is the art of movement within chaos. The sun, still radiant with activity, sent out 3 great waves of plasma, while 3i, divided by Atlas, passed by. Each eruption unfolded like a petal of light, glowing and expanding until it filled millions of kilometers of space. For a brief time, our entire solar neighborhood was illuminated by these invisible storms, space weather scientists traced them carefully, mapping their arcs as they bent through the solar system. To their surprise, each one seemed to point toward the same region of space that 3I divided by Atlas was crossing. Coincidence, perhaps, or perhaps not. Some thinkers have suggested that the presence of such an electrically active object could slightly disturb the magnetic balance of the inner system, like a tiny key striking the strings of a vast instrument. The result would not be damage, but resonance, a song between son and stranger. Take another breath and imagine that sound, not as noise, but as vibration, a quiet harmony that connects everything in motion. In the hours after the third eruption, solar observers noticed a peculiar stillness. The flares subsided, the streams of plasma began to cool, and the star seemed to settle back into its calm, as if it had exhaled fully, and was now at peace. And in that peace, 3I divided by Atlas continued, its faint glow marking the path ahead. It is in moments like this that scientists feel most human, watching something small move through forces that should destroy it, and realizing it continues anyway. In that realization lies wonder. For billions of years, our sun has burned and breathed, its cycles shaping the lives of every planet that orbits it. And yet, a visitor from beyond can pass through its reach and remain unchanged. It's humbling and strangely comforting. Perhaps it means that the universe is less fragile than we fear. Perhaps it means that survival, on any scale, is a natural rhythm, a property of existence itself. You might feel a quiet stillness settling over you now. Let it mirror the steadiness of that interstellar traveler. Its motion is smooth, its silence complete. It knows neither rush nor hesitation. It simply follows its course, unfolding across time like light through mist. If you could see it now, it would appear as a dim, soft star, barely distinguishable from the background sky. But hidden in that dimness is age beyond imagining, the record of 1,000 suns, 1 billion collisions, and the long memory of the galaxy itself. To watch 3I divided by Atlas is to see the story of endurance written in light. It moves, it persists, it glows faintly, and in doing so, it teaches us something deep about our own place in this cosmic sea. Take a slow breath and let it drift out like a wave returning to the shore. As you exhale, imagine that you are floating beside it, both of you suspended in the same timeless stillness. The sun's warmth fades with distance now, its storms dwindling into quiet ripples. Behind it, 3I divided by Atlas leaves a trail of dust, so fine it would take centuries for a single grain to cross a planet's orbit. Each mote of dust carries with it the light of its journey, a record of energy, a memory of heat, a trace of motion that will one day blend with the dust of our own world. Even now, as you breathe, the air around you contains atoms that once glowed in other suns. You, too, are interstellar in your composition. You are made of the same dust that 3I divided by Atlas releases, the same carbon that blooms in stars, the same oxygen that dances in nebulae. And so, in a way, its voyage is also ours. Somewhere between the orbits of Mercury and Venus, the sun's brilliance softens into a golden haze, a place where radiation quiets and solar wind turns from roar to whisper. It is here that 3I divided by Atlas begins to emerge again from the light, its path no longer hidden by the burning glare. Telescopes turn, instruments hum softly in the dark, and in a stream of digital data, a faint shimmer appears. It is the first glimpse since the conjunction, a pixel of light among millions, moving exactly as it should. To the astronomers who had waited for weeks, It felt like the soft return of a heartbeat. There it was, still on course, still calm, a visitor that had faced the full breath of a star and kept to its path without hesitation. Take a slow breath yourself and imagine that reunion, human eyes meeting an ancient traveler's light. After its long silence behind the Sunday, in that faint dot of brightness, there lies a story older than language. Every interstellar object that passes through our solar system is a messenger from another era of the galaxy, a relic of the time before our sun was even born. 3I divided by Atlas may carry within it the dust of stars that died billions of years ago, matter that once burned, then cooled, then drifted through the void, until gravity invited it into our home of light. Scientists say its outer layers might still contain ices that have never melted since the dawn of its creation. When sunlight touches those ices, tiny jets of vapor escape, scattering particles that shimmer faintly in the vacuum. It is this delicate veil that makes the object glow, the way frost glows when it catches dawn light. And yet, unlike most comets that flare with long tails, 3I, dividido por Atlas, remains quiet, its brilliance subtle, its motion serene. There is discipline in its stillness, as though it understands that too much radiance would betray its age. Take another slow breath and feel the balance between warmth and silence. The data from Earth's satellites shows something curious. 3 immense solar eruptions had indeed surged in its direction, but the object's energy signature barely wavered. No acceleration, no deviation, no flash of vapor or change in spin, just a smooth continuation of its orbital curve, as if it were moving through an ocean whose waves could never touch its core. Some physicists suggest that what protects it isn't mass or density, but resonance, a kind of electromagnetic rhythm that aligns, almost musically, with the solar field around it. It doesn't fight the current, it vibrates in harmony with it, and in doing so, it passes through untouched. The thought is as mysterious as it is comforting, that survival, at cosmic scale, may simply mean learning the right rhythm. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine those rhythms merging, the sun's magnetic pulse, the spiral flow of solar wind, the steady glide of 3I, divided by Atlas, through its midst, all of them moving as one, without collision or conflict, just endless motion in perfect coordination. It is believed that when interstellar objects like this one enter a new system, they temporarily alter its balance, not in destruction, but in conversation. Energy meets energy, fields touch, currents align, and for a short time, a cosmic dialogue takes place between foreign and familiar. What could our sun be saying to this traveler? Perhaps nothing, perhaps everything. Perhaps the conversation is in light itself, a silent exchange of frequencies, like 2 instruments tuning to the same note. Take another deep breath and let that image linger, the music of stars that we cannot hear, but somehow feel. In the weeks following its perihelion, 3I divided by Atlas continued its outward climb, carrying sunlight on its back like a faint memory. Telescopes across the world began capturing it again, each frame confirming what the scientists already knew. It had not changed. No debris cloud, no chaotic spin, no tail of dust growing behind it. It moved as if nothing extraordinary had happened at all, and yet everything about its passage was extraordinary. In a universe that delights in unpredictability, this stillness felt like a rare gift. It reminded many astronomers of the calm that follows understanding, that moment when something once unknown simply makes sense. Somewhere deep in its frozen surface, there might still linger atoms that once danced around another Sunday. If that's true, then the light now shining upon it has traveled halfway across the galaxy, to meet its reflection once again. It's a reunion so gentle, so improbable, that it almost feels like poetry disguised as physics. Take a breath with that thought, in and out, letting the idea of reunion fill you with quiet wonder. The sun continues its cycle. Its storms come and go. Its magnetic poles twist and reform. But three are divided by Atlas. That small, patient wanderer will now begin to leave us. It has seen the heart of our system and will drift back into the dark, its path bending only slightly as it exits the reach of our star. Somewhere, far beyond Neptune, its glow will fade, its ice will still, and once more it will become invisible, a ghost in the vastness. But for a brief time, its presence has changed how we see the cosmos. It reminds us that even in infinite space, motion has purpose, and every journey, no matter how silent, touches the worlds it passes through. Astronomers often speak of perspective, how a small body can teach enormous lessons. In Three Eye Divided by Atlas, they find humility. It shows that not every traveler arrives to destroy or astonish. Some simply pass through to remind us of the universe's deep and constant grace. As you breathe, imagine yourself in its place, weightless, drifting, bathed in the light of a sun that cannot hold you. You move forward without effort, guided only by the quiet certainty of your own path. You are neither bound nor lost. You are simply in motion. Take one more soft breath and let the thought settle that perhaps, somewhere out there, something looks upon our sun and feels the same wonder you feel now. The faint glimmer of Three Eye Divided by Atlas continues outward now, away from the sun's fierce gaze, its trail of light thinning into the velvet dark. Each day it grows dimmer, not because it fades, but because distance softens everything that burns. Telescopes record it still, a quiet line of movement, steady as the slow pulse of the galaxy itself. Astronomers take comfort in that constancy. After months of speculation, prediction, and debate, the result is simple, serene, and deeply beautiful. The orbit has not changed. Despite the violence it passed through, despite the roaring storms that surrounded it, Three Eye Divided by Atlas remains the same, a symbol of composure in a universe that rarely stays still. Take a slow, deep breath and imagine that steadiness. Imagine floating through light and heat and magnetic fields, feeling everything around you tremble, and yet remaining untouched, not through strength, but through balance. Some scientists have begun to describe its passage in terms of electrical resonance. When the sun releases plasma, it creates vast currents of charged particles, rivers of magnetism flowing through space. If Three Eye Divided by Atlas carries its own subtle field, then perhaps, they say, it hums at just the right frequency to pass between those rivers without resistance, like a dancer stepping perfectly between waves. It is a peaceful theory, and somehow it feels right. Because when we look at Three Eye Divided by Atlas, we are not just seeing science, we are seeing harmony in motion. Far below, on Earth, people go about their days unaware that a visitor from beyond the stars has passed by their Sunday. They see sunsets glowing in strange new colors, auroras unfurling like silk across polar skis, and they may never know that those lights were born from storms that brushed the path of a traveler older than humanity itself. That is the quiet magic of the cosmos, to influence without control, to touch without intending. Three Eye Divided by Atlas has no mission, no purpose, no destination. It simply follows the curve of gravity, the same curve that holds every moon, every world, every heartbeat. Take another slow breath and let that curve cradle your thoughts. It is believed that this object, like the others that came before, Oumuamua and Borisov, was thrown from its home system by a great cosmic accident. Perhaps the birth of a new star tore its orbit apart. Perhaps a planet's collision sent it spinning into the dark, and so it wandered through nebulae, through cold interstellar clouds, through silence so deep that even time seemed to move more slowly there, until, by chance, it reached the faint gravitational pull of our Sunday. For all its vastness, the galaxy is an ocean of coincidences. Every star is both lighthouse and current, pulling and releasing travelers that may never meet again. 3. I, divided by Atlas, is one such traveler, a small reminder that nothing, no matter how lost, ever truly leaves the story of the universe. When its image appeared once more in the coronagraph's field of view, scientists were quick to confirm that its trajectory matched the models exactly. It had followed every predicted step. No mysterious acceleration, nor sudden deviation, only grace. And that, perhaps, is the most extraordinary discovery of all. Take a soft breath. Let it fall easily from your lips. Think of how rare it is in life for something to go exactly as expected, and how strangely comforting that can be. 3. I, divided by Atlas, has become a symbol among astronomers, not of chaos or alien curiosity, but of stability, of cosmic patience. It is a quiet counterpoint to the noise of the world. Every observation tells the same story. The dust around it glows faintly. Its coma remains minimal. Its brightness changes only by the natural geometry of sunlight. It is what it was, and what it will continue to be, long after it leaves our sight. Some call it a mirror, not of light, but of meaning, because in its endurance, we see our own small struggles reflected. We too are travelers through storms we do not control. We too pass through heat and shadow, through chaos and calm. And sometimes, the only miracle we need is to remain unchanged. The sun, now quieter after its furious outbursts, turns its face once more toward Earth. The great loops of plasma shrink, the solar wind slows, and across the magnetic fields of our planet, the echoes of those storms ripple gently away. Scientists studying space weather notice something beautiful. The auroras grow softer, their colors deeper, their movements slower, as if even the Earth were breathing out after holding its breath for too long. And in that peace, 3 I divided by Atlas continues to recede, its light now blending with the tapestry of stars. It will pass beyond our instruments soon, too faint to measure, too distant to track. But that is not an ending. It is simply another kind of motion, a return to the quiet from which it came. Take a long, gentle breath in, and imagine that vastness opening before you. No boundaries, no urgency, just infinite space, filled with the hum of ancient travelers and the warmth of invisible light. The story of 3I divided by Atlas may soon fade from our news feeds, but its imprint will remain in data, in memories, and in the soft awe that lingers. Whenever we think of it, it reminds us that even in an age where science measures almost everything, there is still room for wonder, for that quiet gasp. When the universe behaves with elegance, we can't quite explain. Somewhere, a young astronomer watches the sky tonight, hoping to catch one last glimpse of that fading light. They know the math, they know the physics, but what draws them to the telescope is not calculation, it's curiosity, the timeless human need to look into darkness and find beauty there. Take another deep breath and let that same curiosity settle in your heart, because the story of 3I divided by Atlas is not only about space, It's about the way we look at things that pass through our lives, briefly, beautifully, and then are gone. They remind us to stay observant, to cherish moments of alignment, to find meaning in calmness. For just as three are divided by Atlas remained unchanged, through the storms of a star, you too can remain steady, through the noise of the world. And that is perhaps the most peaceful kind of power. In the weeks that followed its closest passage, 3I divided by Atlas drifted farther from the sun, slipping once again into the cool silence between the orbits of the inner worlds. It was no longer visible to the naked eye, but its presence still shimmered faintly in the minds of those who had watched it, that tiny light that faced a star and did not bend. Scientists describe its current state as outbound, its path fixed, its speed easing gently with distance. In the soft geometry of the cosmos, it is moving through the echo of what once was, the fading warmth of solar radiation, the lingering currents of electromagnetic breath. Take a slow breath of your own and imagine that journey. Imagine gliding through an invisible tide, carried not by wind or gravity alone, but by the delicate weave of space itself. Even now, faint streams of data arrive from telescopes. They trace its brightness, confirming again and again that it follows the same steady arc. Every observation whispers the same truth. The orbit remains unchanged. In a universe ruled by forces vast beyond imagining, that steadiness feels almost sacred. Everything around 3I divided by Atlas shifts. Magnetic fields twist. Plasma surges. Planets rotate. Moons oscillate. And yet it moves on, unmoved by the chaos that surrounds it. Somewhere within its core, atoms forged in the death of ancient stars lie frozen in silence. Each grain of dust, each crystal of ice, is a tiny memory of another place, another sun, another time. It carries within it the echo of a universe that was, and by passing through ours, it threads that memory into the fabric of what is. There is comfort in that thought, that every object that enters our sky, no matter how brief its visit, leaves something behind. Not debris, but meaning. Not disturbance, but connection. Take another breath, and let the air remind you that you, too, are part of that same exchange, a flow of matter and memory, inhaling what ancient stars exhaled. Astronomers, now more relaxed, after months of anxious monitoring, begin to study what it all means. Some note that 3I divided by Atlas's stability challenges certain models of cometary behavior. Others marvel at how precisely its trajectory aligns with predictions based on only a few months of observation. In science, such precision is rare, a reminder that even across billions of miles, mathematics can still touch truth. But beyond the data, there is quiet wonder. For when you look up at the night sky and imagine that small traveler still moving through it, you can almost feel the rhythm of its passage, as if it hums softly through the fabric of existence. Perhaps it does. Some researchers suggest that all interstellar bodies emit low-frequency electromagnetic signatures, the faintest vibrations of interaction with cosmic plasma. To the ear, they are inaudible, but to the imagination, they are a kind of music, the lullaby of matter in motion. Take a moment now to listen inwardly. In the stillness behind your breath, you may sense that same music, a slow pulse of calm that connects you to everything that moves. While scientists measure its position, others look at the broader context. They notice that the sun, after its flurry of storms, has entered a quieter phase, its surface calmer, its outbursts softer. It is almost as if, having sent its energy toward the passing traveler, it now rests. There's something almost human in that image, the idea of release after intensity, of calm after effort. Even a star seems to exhale, its fiery rhythm easing into balance once more. And just as the sun relaxes, so does Earth. The magnetic storms that once shimmered across our poles begin to subside, the auroras retreating into higher latitudes. Skies grow dark again, not empty, but peaceful. In that darkness, one might stand on a quiet hillside and feel the truth of it all, that the same calm settling over the planets is mirrored in the spaces between thoughts, cosmic kiet and human kiet. Different scales of the same serenity. Take another breath and let that peace settle into you. Out there, 3i divided by Atlas continues to move, unseen by most, yet watched with quiet reverence by those who understand. It is becoming fainter now, its reflection dwindling to a whisper of light. But still, it moves in perfect accordance with every law we know, and perhaps a few we do not. Somewhere in its structure, hidden among the layers of frozen minerals, may lie clues to worlds long forgotten. A ratio of metals that no one has seen before, a pattern of isotopes that defies the chemistry of our own system. Each discovery, waiting patiently, like a message sealed in ancient stone. When the time comes, and the data from its closest approach is released, scientists will begin to decode those secrets. They will speak of formation and evolution, of magnetic fields and particle interactions. But beneath all those words, there will still be the unspoken feeling that what they are studying is not just a rock, but a relic of the galaxy's earliest dreams. Perhaps that is what 3i divided by Atlas represents most beautifully. The way science and wonder can coexist, each one deepening the other. We observe, we measure, we analyze, but at the heart of every discovery is awe. Close your eyes and imagine that feeling, the moment a telescope catches sight of something no one has ever seen before. The first point of light against the endless dark, the realization that it is moving, alive in its own quiet way, and then imagine letting it go, knowing it will continue on its journey, carrying our curiosity with it, but belonging to no one. 3i divided by Atlas will travel beyond the reach of our senses soon, heading toward the outer planets, where the sun becomes no more than a bright memory. Beyond that lies the Oort cloud, a sphere of distant icy bodies that marks the frontier of our solar family. Past that, nothing but interstellar night. Once more. Yet, it will continue. Unstoppable. Unaride. Unafraid. Perhaps in 1,000,000 years, it will pass through another system, another ring of light and dust, and other eyes will look upon it and wonder, just as we do now. And maybe, somewhere in that future sky, a quiet voice will whisper, "They called it 3i divided by Atlas, and it never changed." Take one last slow breath, and let your thoughts drift outward with it, across the darkness, past the memory of sunlight, into the infinite, peaceful hum of space. As 3i divided by Atlas moves deeper into the night, it enters a region of space where the light of the sun is softer than candle glow. Out here, warmth fades into memory, photons travel slower to the heart, and even the cosmic wind seems to pause for breath. This is the outer calm, the quiet edge between sunlight and starlight, a realm where gravity speaks in whispers, and motion becomes more like drifting than flying. If you could see it now, 3i divided by Atlas would appear as a dim ember, glowing faintly against the endless black. It doesn't shine on its own, it only reflects. And yet, what it reflects is everything. The last echo of the sun's light, the silent gift of energy that carried it this far. Take a deep breath and imagine that faint reflection glowing in the dark, steady, patient, untouched by fear or hurry. As Astronomers still track it, though the signals grow weaker. They calculate its trajectory with equations that now feel more like farewells. Every passing week, the data fades a little more into the noise, but they know with quiet certainty that the orbit has remained pure. Not a single measurable deviation, no tug from unseen bodies, no surge from hidden propulsion. Only the calm rhythm of momentum and gravity, woven together in perfect trust. Some scientists call this point of the journey the Exodus. It is when an interstellar traveler finally leaves the grasp of the sun and begins its return to the great dark sea between the stars. Imagine that vast ocean, a realm without light, without sound, where temperature itself becomes an idea more than a reality. And yet, it is not empty. It hums with particles, fields, and the quiet presence of things unseen. 3I divided by Atlas is entering that sea now, slowly, steadily, beautifully. Each mile it travels carries it farther from the warmth that once illuminated it, and deeper into the timeless dark from which it came. Take another slow breath and feel what that means. To move away from brilliance, not in sorrow, but in peace. Somewhere, as Atlas recedes, the sun continues its cycle, burning, turning, alive with the promise of new storms. It will never know the traveler has left, but the echo of that encounter, the resonance of passing proximity, will ripple through both forever. In the mathematics of the cosmos, every meeting leaves a mark, a slight exchange of energy, a subtle shift in frequency. Even if the effect is invisible, it exists, just as the memory of someone's gaze can linger long after they've gone. So the sun and 3I divided by Atlas and every orbit that curved between them are forever linked now, woven together by the brief dance of gravity and light. Some astronomers wonder what the object's next chapter will be. Will it wander for another billion years before finding another star? Or will it drift forever, a silent ember in the cold abyss, never seen again by any living eye? The answer, of course, is beyond our knowing, and perhaps that is the beauty of it, that some stories are not meant to end, only to continue quietly beyond the horizon. Take a breath and let that mystery settle in you. We are not built to know everything. Sometimes the not knowing is the gentlest kind of truth. In the days following its departure from the sun's domain, a pattern began to appear in solar activity. The great eruptions that had flared toward 3I divided by Atlas grew less frequent. The surface of the sun began to calm. Astronomers noted that the magnetic fields that once twisted in wild loops now formed simpler, more stable shapes. It was as if, for a moment, the star itself exhaled. Some said it was coincidence. Others, quietly, felt it was a kind of resonance, that after releasing its fury, the sun had returned to stillness, mirroring the peace of the object it had tried to reach. It's an image worth keeping, a raging star finding calm after meeting something older, quieter, and unafraid. Take another slow breath. Let the image drift through your thoughts, like sunlight through water. The data from 3I divided by Atlas's encounter will take years to analyze. Agencies across the world store thousands of terabytes of imagery and readings. Dust composition, ion density, magnetic vector. But behind every line of code, there's still a kind of reverence, because to study something that has traveled across the entire galaxy is to touch time itself. It is believed that the atoms of 3I divided by Atlas may predate our sun by billions of years. They have existed through epochs when even the Milky Way was still forming its arms of light. To hold data from such an object is to hold the earliest memory of creation, the raw, quiet beginning of everything we know. And perhaps that is why so many who study space speak in the language of wonder as much as in equations, because the numbers only measure the motion, but wonder measures the meaning. Take a breath again. Slow, soft, endless. Let your own sense of wonder float upward until it meets the same sky that carries 3i divided by Atlas away. Somewhere in the distance, beyond where our instruments can see, the traveler glides through starlight faint as dust. No engines, no signals, no destination. Just the quiet continuation of motion, perfect in its simplicity. Perhaps one day, millennia from now, it will drift close enough to another star for its surface to glow once more. Another civilization may see that faint glimmer, record its orbit, and whisper its own stories about what it might be. They will not know it passed our world once, nor that we too looked upon it with awe. But in that moment, the circle will close. One more thread in the vast, unending web of cosmic connection. Take a final breath before we drift onward. Let it move through you, like starlight, through silence. You are a witness to that same connection, a consciousness alive in a universe that never stops creating, never stops remembering, never stops moving. Just like 3i divided by Atlas, you too are part of this grand orbit, unchanged at the core, no matter how bright the storms may be. As 3i divided by Atlas drifts farther from the sun's golden pool, it moves through a realm few human eyes will ever see. Here, light is softer than a thought. The faint pressure of the solar wind thins into near nothingness, and silence becomes complete. If you were to float beside it, you would see no horizon, only the shimmer of stars, so countless they seem to breathe as one. Each star a note, each distance a pause, and between them, a silence that hums with energy. 3i divided by Atlas glides through that invisible music. Its path no longer bends to the sun's gravity, only to the deep geometry of the Milky Way itself. It moves through the galactic current, like a leaf drifting across a cosmic river, free, but not lost. Take a gentle breath and let your thoughts drift with it. Imagine the faint starlight falling across its surface, grain by grain, like silver dust on ancient stone. Astronomers say the object is now moving into the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence fades and interstellar space begins. There, the solar wind slows to a whisper, and the magnetic field of our star meets the magnetic breath of the galaxy beyond. It is not a wall, but a blending, a soft horizon where two worlds of energy intertwine and exchange their particles. Every atom that crosses it becomes a traveler between realms, and now 3i divided by Atlas joins them. For billions of years, no human has crossed that boundary, only our machines. Voyager, Pioneer, New Horizons have ventured that far. They carry with them music, words, and the faint memory of our planet. Now, a piece of another world follows, unaware that it too carries stories, the story of its home star, its long journey through the dark, its encounter with the warmth of our Sunday. Take another slow breath and let that realization settle, that even what is silent still tells a story. The space beyond the heliopause is not empty. It is filled with thin, invisible matter, atoms ejected by dying stars, stray dust from shattered worlds, tiny magnetic waves that pulse like distant heartbeats. In that dark ocean, 3i divided by Atlas begins to shine in a new way. not brighter but freer, without the glare of the sun behind it. Its faint light can now be seen more clearly by instruments that study the ultraviolet sky. It becomes, for a moment, a thread of silver weaving between constellations, its motion so smooth that even time seems to flow around it. Scientists believe that, from here on, its speed will remain almost constant. No more gravitational assists, no more resistance, just the eternal coasting of inertia. It may continue for billions of years, crossing the void between stars, drifting slowly toward new suns. Somewhere ahead of it lies nothing but potential, a vast corridor of darkness, filled with unseen galaxies and dust clouds that glow faintly when struck by radiation, and through it, our traveler will move, silent and self-contained, like a seed carried by the wind. Take a deep, slow breath and imagine that dark corridor, not as emptiness, but as possibility. Scientists often describe this kind of object as primordial. It was likely formed from the first solid matter of its original system, when gas clouds collapsed and gravity began to sculpt worlds. To look upon Tres, dividido por Atlas, is to gaze at the childhood of the cosmos itself. Every atom inside it has endured supernovae, cosmic rays, and stellar births, a billion-year symphony of transformation, and yet it remains intact. It has not dissolved or vanished. It endures, just as the core of every star endures, just as the memory of light endures, even when its source has faded. There is something deeply calming in that thought, that permanence is possible, even in a universe built on change. Take another breath. Let it move through you like a soft current. You are breathing stardust, oxygen born in ancient explosions, carbon from long-dead suns, the same elements that drift beside 3. I divided by Atlas now. The difference between you and it is only one of temperature and time. Perhaps that is why so many find peace in stories of the cosmos. They remind us that we are not separate from it. We are fragments of the same creation, particles shaped by the same light. As 3I divided by Atlas fades beyond the solar boundary, the instruments that watched it begin to lose signal. The data streams slow, the noise overwhelms the clarity, until all that remains is a faint statistical whisper, a suggestion of motion continuing on, and so the last observation is recorded. Still on course, still steady, still unchanged. After that, nothing more will be seen, but nothing more needs to be. Its silence says everything. Take a soft breath and feel that silence within you. It is not absence, it is completion. It is what comes when the story has said all it needs to say. For those who have followed its path, the journey of 3I divided by Atlas has been more than an astronomical event. It has been a meditation on stability, on patience, on the art of moving through storms without losing oneself. Perhaps that is what draws humanity to the study of space at all. Not only curiosity, but recognition. When we watch the stars, we are also watching our own reflection, the part of us that longs for distance, for calm, for eternity. Somewhere beyond our reach, 3I divided by Atlas continues through the quiet. It does not fade entirely, for even in darkness, it reflects something greater than itself, the light of everything it has passed through. And perhaps that is what we do too. We move through the fires of life, through storms and stillness alike, and though we change, something at our core remains untouched, steady, glowing, infinite. Take another deep breath and let that thought settle like dust upon calm water. You are made of the same elements, that wander through space tonight. You are part of the same journey, and even when you cannot see your own light, it remains, quietly reflecting the stars, far beyond the reach of Mercury's warmth and Mars's red glow, beyond even the faint magnetism that binds our planetary family together. 3I divided by Atlas glides into the deep frontier of the solar wind. Here, the photons from the sun stretch thin, their light diffused into quiet radiance. Temperature is no longer warmth, but a slow vibration in the heart of matter itself. The object drifts through a medium so delicate that a single atom may travel 1,000 miles before meeting another. Yet even in that sparseness, the fabric of space hums, the low song of particles and fields, woven through the quiet. Take a gentle breath and listen inwardly to the silence that is not silence, but a kind of endless background presence, the same hum that fills the space between galaxies. Scientists believe that 3I divided by Atlas's journey will take it past the last tendrils of the sun's influence within the next few months. When it crosses that invisible threshold, it will no longer be bound by the sun's magnetic field or gravitational whisper. It will become once again an interstellar traveler, belonging to no single star, answering only to the gravity of the Milky Way itself. There is something profoundly poetic about that moment, the act of leaving without resistance, without drama or rupture, simply continuing. It is departure as grace. Take another slow breath and think of what it means to let go, not as loss, but as flow, the gentle continuation of what already is. Back on Earth, the news of 3I divided by Atlas fades from the headlines. The world turns its attention to nearer storms and smaller concerns, but among those who still gaze upward at night, the memory lingers. They remember the months of watching, the flares of the sun, the data streaming in from distant satellites, and the quiet joy of discovering that even under fire, some paths hold steady. That steadiness becomes a kind of lesson, one that speaks in silence. The universe, in all its turbulence, still contains things that move unchanged. It is believed that objects like 3I divided by Atlas serve as cosmic archives, carrying within them clues to the earliest chemistry of the galaxy. Somewhere inside that dark shell of dust and ice, atoms are locked in patterns, older than our sun, older even than the spiral arms of the Milky Way. They are the building blocks of everything that came after, the first whispers of structure in a once chaotic universe. When scientists speak of interstellar memory, this is what they mean: matter that remembers. It carries the record of ancient light, the trace of magnetic fields that no longer exist. In a sense, 3I divided by Atlas is a moving time capsule, a small fragment of the galaxy's earliest dream. Take another breath and imagine touching such a thing, feeling under your fingertips the cool smoothness of time itself. The data gathered from its brief visit is still being studied. Spectral analyses hint compounds, rare even among comets, ratios of nickel and iron that suggest conditions of formation, unlike any seen within our system, tiny grains that seem to defy the usual behavior of dust under solar radiation. Each anomaly a whisper from elsewhere, telling us that our corner of the galaxy is only one variation among countless others, and somehow that makes the cosmos feel closer, not farther away, because it means diversity, that stars, planets, and comets exist in endless forms, each carrying its own signature, its own song. Take another soft breath. Let that idea unfold slowly, like the petals of a distant light. Astronomers say that, statistically, our galaxy should be full of such travelers, most pass through unseen, too small, or too faint to notice. But every few decades, one crosses just close enough for our instruments to catch it. Each one offers a glimpse, not just into its own mystery, but into the vast continuity of matter and motion that connects everything. Imagine billions of these wanderers gliding between suns, quiet as breath, endlessly weaving the galaxy together like threads of light and memory. 3. I, divided by Atlas, is one of them, a single note in the long music of existence. And as it leaves us now, it carries the echo of our attention, our question, our wonder. Though we will never meet it again, a part of us drifts with it, folded into the light it reflects. Take a moment to breathe and feel that connection, that you, sitting here on a small, blue planet, are part of the same unfolding rhythm. There is a concept in astrophysics called resonant drift, when two objects move through a shared field in such harmony that they influence each other without ever colliding. Some scientists have begun to wonder if that is what occurred between the Sun and 3 I divided by Atlas. A gentle, mutual resonance, the star's magnetic heart and the traveler's quiet field vibrating together for a short time. It's an idea that goes beyond physics. It speaks of coexistence, of balance. It suggests that even in the fiercest forces of the cosmos, there is room for stillness, for harmony. Take a deep, slow breath and let that word rest in your mind. Harmony, the space between the storms, the still point in motion. That is where 3 I divided by Atlas lived throughout its journey, and that is where peace resides in us too. As it fades into the galactic dark, its orbit now traced only by equations and dreams, one final image remains, a delicate speck, moving steadily beyond the glow of the Sunday. Behind it, the warmth of our star, the whisper of planets, the faint curve of home. Ahead, a silence so vast, it feels like a promise, and though its story may vanish from our telescopes and headlines, it will continue, unchanged, unwavering, reminding all who remember that even in a universe made of fire and motion, some things simply endure. Take another slow breath and feel that endurance within yourself. Quiet, constant, timeless, because in some way, you too are a traveler between storms, crossing the light of your own sun, unchanged at the core. No matter how bright the world may burn around you, somewhere between what we can see and what we can only imagine, 3 I divided by Atlas drifts onward, leaving behind the invisible frontier that defines the sun's reach. It is no longer part of our system, and yet, in a way, it always will be. Every photon that touched its surface was born in the heart of our star, and now those photons continue with it, a trail of golden memory, streaming into the dark. Take a deep breath and imagine that trail, light that does not fade, but simply spreads thinner and thinner until it becomes one with the starlight around it. Scientists sometimes describe this distance as the solar interstice, a liminal region between what belongs to us and what belongs to everything else. It is not a boundary in any human sense, but a transition, the slow blending of one influence into another. The sun's gravity still whispers here, faint but faithful, as though unwilling to fully let go. And perhaps that's what all departures are, not endings, but quiet transition, moments where one light simply hands another the sky. 3 I divided by Atlas has no awareness of its leaving. It does not mourn the warmth of the sun, nor rejoice in the freedom of the dark. It moves because motion is all it has ever known. In its frozen body, there is no memory of heat, nor longing for light, only the deep, abiding rhythm of continuation. Take another slow breath, and let that rhythm match your own. Steady, gentle, infinite. From its new vantage, the sun would appear as a brilliant star, far brighter than the others, but no longer overwhelming. Our world's tiny pearls orbiting in the light would blur into invisibility. Earth, that blue whisper of life, would be no more than a pixel, glinting for the briefest moment, in the memory of its passing. And yet, that pixel contains oceans, forests, songs, and the very consciousness that now imagines this scene. How small we are in space, and yet how vast in meaning. Somewhere on that pixel, someone looks up tonight and wonders where 3i divided by Atlas has gone. They may not find it in the telescope anymore, but it still exists in the data, in the orbit charts, and soft hum of radio signals stored in observatory servers around the world. Its presence is archived in light, forever recorded, forever remembered. And so, though the traveler moves on, its story stays behind, a constellation of information woven into human memory. It is a strange kind of immortality, isn't it? To be remembered not by form or name, but by trajectory, by the line you carve through the unknown. Take another deep breath and feel the air move through you, as though it, too, carries a story of where it has been and where it will go. Scientists studying the sun noticed that even after 3i divided by Atlas departed, its influence lingers subtly in solar patterns, not as a measurable change, but as an almost poetic coincidence. Certain sunspots form and dissolve in a rhythm that mirrors its passage. They call it coronal memory, a phenomenon where magnetic fields seem to echo the alignment of past interactions. Whether real or imagined, the concept feels beautiful, that a star might remember the presence of what once passed by it. And if that is true, then perhaps our sun will carry a faint trace of this visitor for centuries to come. En invisible marque, a soft indentation in the light. It's a comforting thought that even the most fleeting encounter can leave something permanent behind. That memory, like gravity, extends farther than we think. Take another breath and imagine that resonance, not a loud echo, but a hum that only stillness can hear. In the great theater of the galaxy, 3i, divided by Atlas, is now between acts. Its next encounter may not happen for millions of years. It might wander through silence so deep that no light ever touches it again. Or perhaps one day, it will pass near another star and awaken briefly in warmth and reflection, as it did here. That moment, if it comes, will happen long after our species is gone, after the Earth itself has changed into something unrecognizable, but its motion will continue, indifferent to time, faithful to the same curve that began long before we named it. To think about that is to feel the scale of existence so large that it almost feels like rest, because in Zuch immensity there is no rush. There is only the unfolding of inevitability, one orbit at a time. Take a slow breath and let yourself rest inside that idea. Perhaps that is the most soothing truth the cosmos has to offer, that everything moves according to its own rhythm and nothing ever truly stops. Even in death, stars release their energy into new clouds of gas and light, and from those clouds, new worlds are born. Even in silence, objects like 3i divided by Atlas glide onward, sewing together the continuity of creation. Every end is just another continuation, seen from a different angle. From our perspective, the traveler is leaving, but from another, it is arriving, entering the open sea of the galaxy, where distance means freedom, and time no longer measures anything. Take another breath, and imagine that sea. Not water, but light. Not sound, but vibration. A place where everything that ever was is still present, still connected, still part of one endless breath. 3. I, divided by Atlas, moves through that ocean now, and perhaps, just perhaps, our world's faint gravity has left the slightest pull upon it, a thread of connection so thin it could never be measured, yet still real, like a whisper carried on the wind. And maybe that is what the universe truly is, a tapestry of invisible whispers, threads of gravity, threads of memory, threads of meaning, all holding one another in quiet balance. So when you next look at the night sky, remember that one of those threads once passed through our sun, through our orbit, through our awareness. It came from the dark and returned to the dark, but it left behind a little more wonder than it found. Take one more slow, grounding breath. You are part of that same continuum. Your thoughts, your heartbeat, your very being move with the rhythm of the stars, and like 3 divided by Atlas, you are still in motion, calm, constant, and beautifully unchanged at the core, beyond the boundary where sunlight fades to memory. 3. I divided by Atlas glides through an invisible sea, no longer tethered to the sun's warmth. It is guided only by the faint curve of the galaxy's gravity, a slow spiral that holds stars, planets, dust, and dreams in the same patient embrace. This part of space is neither hostile nor kind. It is simply vast. Temperature has no meaning here. Sound does not exist. The object moves through an ocean of near nothing, yet that nothing is filled with potential. Cosmic rays, plasma filaments, and the faint pulse of starlight born before Earth itself existed. Take a long, quiet breath. Feel the space between each inhale and exhale. That stillness is what surrounds 3. I divided by Atlas now. Astronomers say that beyond this point, the sun's voice becomes a whisper. Its light still reaches outward, but with every billion kilometers, that light stretches thinner, its warmth dissolving into the soft cold of eternity. And yet, even the thinnest ray continues on forever, never stopping, only expanding. So it is with the traveler, still carrying the faint golden echo of the sun's fire. Along its icy surface, its dust grains glowing just enough to remind the darkness what light once felt like. There's a gentle poetry in that image, a fragment of another world, illuminated by ours, now carrying that light away to places that have never known the Sunday. Take another slow breath and imagine being that light, not racing, not burning, just moving outward in endless calm. For scientists, the story of 3 divided by Atlas is slowly shifting from observation to reflection. The telescopes that once captured its path have turned back to nearer objects, their sensors filled with the colors of new comets and storms. But deep in the data archives, the record of its journey remains. Millions of tiny points, each one a heartbeat of motion. Researchers still study those points, not because they expect surprises, but because each frame is a reminder of precision, of how, even in the vastness of space, mathematics can predict something with near-perfect grace. That grace, they say, is the signature of the universe itself. Not chaos, but balance. Not randomness, but rhythm. Every star spins, every planet turns, every particle vibrates, in a choreography so vast that even silence becomes part of the music. 3i divided by Atlas is part of that rhythm now. It no longer needs to resist or align. It simply flows within the current of existence. Its orbit is no longer a curve around a single star, but a thread woven through the galaxy's great spiral. Take another breath and picture that spiral. Billions of suns turning together, their arms of light extending like slow waves in a cosmic sea. Somewhere in that movement, a small, dim traveler drifts on, peaceful and unafraid. Some scientists still speak quietly of resonance, the theory that the presence of interstellar objects can momentarily tune the sun's magnetic field, as if the star itself hums in response to a passing note. Perhaps that is why the great solar eruptions flared during its approach, and why calm followed its departure. The universe, after all, loves symmetry. It may be that even the largest of forces respond to the smallest of visitors, not through collision, but through conversation. A brief exchange of energy, a handshake between the known and the unknown. Take another breath and let that idea rest in you. That connection does not require noise or impact, only presence. Back on Earth, the sun continues to shine. The solar flares that once seemed ferocious have quieted into gentle arcs. The auroras they caused have faded from the poles, leaving only memory. Life goes on beneath the sky, unaware of the silent traveler, moving far beyond. And yet, at night, when the sky is clear and deep, the faint shimmer of that story still lingers. Somewhere out there, between the constellations of Taurus and Perseus, a single point of dust reflects what little sunlight remains. It is almost nothing, and yet, it is everything, for within that tiny reflection is proof of continuity, that what leaves the light does not cease to exist, it simply transforms. Take another slow, grounding breath. You are surrounded by that same truth. Every photon that touches your skin is older than memory, born in the heart of a star, perhaps even the same kind of star that once warmed 3i divided by Atlas's ancient home. In that way, you are kin to the traveler. You, too, are starlight made solid, journeying through time. The object's path is now mapped beyond prediction. Mathematically, its coordinates can be traced for centuries ahead, though no human eye will ever see it again. Its trajectory leads outward, past the boundary of the heliosphere, into the open arms of the interstellar medium. There, surrounded by plasma currents and galactic dust, it will drift for millions of years, crossing unseen borders, weaving through regions where gravity is faint and free. Perhaps one day, it will encounter another sun, a distant yellow or red dwarf, with its own worlds and storms. Perhaps, briefly, it will flare again with reflected light, and another civilization will wonder, as we do now, what this visitor might mean. That is the beauty of continuity. We are all connected by what we will never meet. Our curiosity travels ahead of us, crossing boundaries our bodies never will. Take a deep breath and let yourself imagine that distant future, a world beneath a different sky, someone standing beneath their own aurora, looking up and whispering about a traveler from afar. They will not know its name, but they will feel the same wonder. And that is how the universe remembers, not through permanence, but through repetition. The same awe echoing through countless hearts, across countless worlds, linked by a single motion through the dark. So 3i divided by Atlas drifts on, its orbit no longer measured by years, but by patience, and somewhere within its frozen dust, the memory of our sun lingers, a faint warmth, a trace of the golden light that once brushed across its skin. Perhaps, in its silence, It still glows faintly from that touch. Not enough to shine, but enough to remember. Take one last breath for this moment. Inhale softly, exhale slowly, and feel yourself carried, just as it is carried, by momentum, by gravity, by the quiet certainty of belonging. Nothing is ever truly lost in the universe. Not light, not motion, not meaning. They only change form and continue on, out past the orbit of Neptune. The sunlight has grown pale, so faint now that it feels more like memory than light. It touches nothing strongly, but still, it touches everything. And through that dim sea, 3i divided by Atlas continues its journey, gliding through particles so few and far between that space itself begins to resemble stillness. No storms, no outbursts, no resistance, only the quiet pull of time. Its motion is pure now, guided by no star, measured by no calendar. It is motion for motion's sake, the endless drift that defines the universe. Take a slow, unhurried breath and imagine what silence feels like when there is nothing left to echo against. If you could travel beside 3i divided by Atlas now, you would see a faint shimmer across its surface, the last reflection of sunlight bending around it, pale gold fading into shadow. The coma that once glowed faintly near the sun has long since collapsed back into stillness. The tail, once imagined in telescopes, is gone. What remains is the core, dark, ancient, whole. It spins slowly, so slowly that one rotation might take days, or perhaps weeks. No one knows for certain. There is no way to hear its rhythm. But somewhere in that quiet turn is the calm persistence of endurance. Astronomers say that out here, space begins to behave differently. The sun's gravity grows weak, and the soft tug of galactic tides takes over. Those tides are not like ocean waves, but like invisible patterns of motion. The flow of stars, the slow migration of interstellar clouds. And now, the traveler begins to feel them. Take another breath, and let that image wash over you. An unseen current moving gently through everything, shaping paths that will last for ages. From its earliest detection months ago, 3i divided by Atlas has been a mystery, wrapped in clarity. Its orbit was exact, its behavior predictable, and yet its existence raised endless questions. Where did it come from? How long has it traveled? What ancient sun gave it birth? Somewhere in its deep layers of rock and ice lie the answers, but they are locked away, untouchable for now, whispering only through faint, spectral readings and the soft reflection of light. Scientists believe that the object is older than our solar system itself, perhaps billions of years older. It might have formed in a cluster of stars that long ago burned out and dispersed. It has likely crossed the void between spiral arms, seen supernovae ignite and fade, and drifted past worlds that no longer exist. It is a memory, a vessel of the galaxy's own history, passing quietly through our story before continuing into someone else's. Take another slow breath. Imagine that kind of endurance, to persist for billions of years, unchanged, unhurried, needing nothing. It reminds us that time, too, is a kind of ocean. Everything we know, everything we love, exists within one small wave of it. And yet, there are countless others, waves before and after, each carrying stories that we will never see. 3i divided by Atlas is one of those waves, gliding effortlessly through the long, slow surf of eternity. As it drifts farther, it begins to enter the outskirts of the Oort cloud, that invisible halo of icy fragments that circles our sun like a faint thought. Somewhere among those frozen bodies, The traveler passes quietly, unaware that it is leaving the last trace of our home behind. Those who study celestial mechanics say that this moment, the point where solar gravity surrenders to the interstellar tide, is both mathematical and poetic. It is where belonging ends and freedom begins. The equations call it the escape velocity, but there is nothing forceful about it. It is not flight, it is release. Take another breath and let the word release float softly in your mind. It does not mean to abandon. It means to trust that motion will continue, exactly as it should. The sun does not chase what leaves it. It continues to shine, to warm, to give, and what leaves does not rebel against it. It carries the sun's light onward, a fragment of gold within its silence. So it is with 3i divided by Atlas. The warmth of our star still lingers on its surface, a memory that will fade slowly, molecule by molecule, until even the last particle of heat is gone. And yet, that fading is not sorrow, it is completion, the final note of a song that continues as vibration long after the sound has stopped. Take another deep, calm breath. Feel the warmth of your own body, the rhythm of your heart. You are a small part of this same symphony. Your life, your breath, your pulse are movements within a universal melody that never truly ends. Scientists like to measure distances in astronomical units, millions of miles that defy imagination. But perhaps the truer distance is measured not in space, but in understanding how far our thoughts can travel when we imagine the infinite. When you think of 3i divided by Atlas now, you are reaching across billions of kilometers in a single moment of awareness. That is how connected everything truly is. The traveler will keep moving, past the orbit of the outermost comets, past the farthest reach of the solar magnetic field, and into the gentle density of the galactic wind. It will join countless others like it, drifting through constellations that we can only see as distant lights. And somewhere, in that darkness, perhaps a single particle of its dust will one day meet another, colliding softly, fusing, beginning the long, slow process of creation once more. From two fragments, a seed of a world could be born. It might take eons, but in time, that seed could orbit a new star, bathing again in warmth. The cycle would continue. Death, drift, rebirth, the pattern that has shaped everything. Take a slow breath and let that idea of renewal ease through you. Even what departs eventually becomes part of something new. 3i divided by Atlas may never return, but the energy it carries will never stop moving. No atom in the universe is truly still. Everything flows, everything transforms, and every transformation begins with silence. Out here, in the cold between stars, silence is not absence. It is the soil of possibility. It is where new things begin. So as 3i divided by Atlas drifts into that quiet, it becomes part of a deeper story, one written not in words or numbers, but in continuity. The same continuity that moves the tides, that breathes through galaxies, and that, even now, moves gently within you. Take one last breath for this chapter, and imagine that traveler, small, steady, unbroken, moving forever forward, its path unchanging, its purpose fulfilled, its silence vast enough to hold the memory of the Sunday. In the far distance, where light itself becomes thin as dust, 3i divided by Atlas glides beyond the edge of knowing. Here, even the faint echo of the sun's warmth has faded, and the object moves through a shadow older than time itself. No telescope can see it now. It is too small, too dim, too far. Yet in the grand quiet of the cosmos, it still exists. faithful to the same path, still carrying the rhythm that was set for it long before we began to look. Take a slow breath and feel the weight of that thought, that existence does not depend on being seen, that even in invisibility, meaning remains. For the scientists who once followed its light, this part of the journey belongs to imagination. They can no longer observe, so they model, simulate, and dream. Their computers replay the sun's storms, the flares that erupted as the traveler passed by, the strange calm that followed in their wake. And though the data is complete, their curiosity is not, because something about 3I divided by Atlas refuses to fade. It left no trace of itself, no debris, no residue, yet its story lingers, as if the silence it carried taught us to listen differently. Take another breath and let that silence fill your thoughts. Astronomers often say that every observation changes the observer. The act of looking expands the soul of what looks, and perhaps that is the truest gift of 3I divided by Atlas, that in watching it pass, unaltered through the sun's fury, we remembered how resilience can be quiet, and how peace can survive in the midst of power. It is believed that the traveler's magnetic field, if it still hums, will now begin to realign with the galactic currents ahead. Out here, the Milky Way's magnetic arms flow like rivers through the void. Each current bends light, shapes dust, guides plasma through invisible channels. 3I divided by Atlas will feel those flows, though it will not fight them. It will simply drift, as it always has, perfectly attuned to what surrounds it. Imagine that, an entire existence built on acceptance. No resistance, no struggle, just an endless willingness to move with the current of the universe. Take another soft breath. Let it slow, let it ease. Scientists sometimes refer to this part of the galaxy as the deep medium. It is the connective tissue between stars, a space filled with ions, particles, and dreams of light. Each atom that floats here has likely passed through a star, being part of a planet, or drifted in the atmosphere of a dying world. Every grain of matter here is the story of transformation. 3I divided by Atlas now joins that story, becoming part of the great migration that moves endlessly through the Milky Way. It is humbling to think of it, that we too are made from those same atoms. The oxygen we breathe, the calcium in our bones, the carbon that shapes our thoughts, all of it forged in stars that once shone and fell silent long before our sun was born. You are stardust, and so is everything you have ever loved. Take another deep breath and let that reminder soften you. The same universe that moves 3I divided by Atlas moves within you too. Though the traveler is gone from view, its influence continues to echo in unexpected ways. Some astronomers notice that the period following its encounter has seen an unusual rhythm in solar activity, a slower, steadier pulse. No one can prove a connection, but some whisper that the sun itself remembers the meeting, that maybe, just maybe, a resonance was shared, a brief alignment of fields and frequencies that left both participants slightly changed. It's not a scientific conclusion, but a poetic one, and sometimes poetry is the only language big enough for space. Take another breath and imagine that brief connection, that soft mutual awareness between a star and a wanderer, neither conquering, neither surrendering, just two beings existing together for a moment and then parting, each carrying a trace of the other. Back on Earth, life continues as though nothing happened. People wake, work, dream, and sleep under skies that seem unchanged. But above them, invisible forces, ripple, the afterglow of magnetic storms, the whisper of cosmic rays, the quiet continuation of what began months ago when an unseen traveler brushed past our star. If you listen closely, you can almost sense it, not as sound, but as calm. The world feels subtly quieter, as if the universe itself took a long, slow breath and exhaled in peace. Perhaps that is the true miracle, that even across distances we cannot imagine, stillness can be shared. One object moves untouched through fire, and the entire system sighs in relief. Take another slow breath, and let that calm flow through you. For a time, astronomers debated whether 3I divided by Atlas might someday return. Its orbit, after all, is not bound to the sun, but perhaps the faint tug of gravity, the collective influence of planets and tides, could alter its course in some distant age. Perhaps billions of years from now, it will sweep through the solar system once more, like a ghost remembering a familiar path. But even if it does not, the story continues. For every traveler that leaves, another arrives. The universe never stops sending messengers. They come in silence, they move through light, and they leave us with questions that keep our curiosity alive. It is said that the galaxy breathes through these encounters, inhalations and exhalations of matter, passing between stars, weaving every system into one whole. 3I, divided by Atlas, is now part of that breath, a particle of a far greater respiration, the cosmic rhythm that connects all things. And maybe that is why its story feels so peaceful, because at its core, it is simply the act of breathing on a universal scale. Take one last slow breath now. Inhale the thought of infinite motion, and exhale the idea of endings. Nothing truly ends. It only changes shape, only finds a new current to follow. Out there, in the unimaginable stillness between stars, 3I, divided by Atlas, continues to drift, a reminder, written in light, that the quietest travelers often leave the most lasting echoes. Somewhere beyond the orbit of imagination, 3I divided by Atlas keeps moving. Though no one is watching, it no longer belongs to our solar story, not to our sun, nor to our gravity, nor to our gaze. It moves within the wider pulse of the galaxy now, where everything drifts together at a pace so gentle that time itself seems to exhale. If space had a heartbeat, this is where you might feel it. A slow, patient rhythm, spanning millennia between beats. Take a soft breath and match its rhythm. Long, steady, unbroken. It is believed that out here, the traveler begins to feel the influence of distant things, stars whose light takes centuries to reach us, nebulae glowing faintly in the background, and the invisible currents of galactic magnetism that twist and sway like underwater tides. 3I, divided by Atlas, is now one speck among billions, but that does not mean it is lost. In the cosmic ocean, every grain of dust knows the same direction. Every motion contributes to the greater flow. It's comforting to think of that even what seems alone is part of something vast and connected. Astronomers, still reviewing data from its passage, have begun to notice subtleties they missed before. A slight variation in the polarization of sunlight, reflected from its surface, something never observed in other comets. They believe it might hold hints of minerals unknown to our planetary systems, perhaps relics of ancient suns that burned out before our own was born. If that's true, then 3I divided by Atlas carries within it the geology of forgotten stars. Each grain of its dust could be a story from another universe's dawn, a signature written in cosmic chemistry. Take another slow breath. let that possibility open in your thoughts, that what seems small and silent can contain entire histories within it. The scientists will continue to study it, not because they expect new images, but because meaning doesn't require sight. Sometimes, understanding unfolds long after the object itself has gone. That's how science often works. Not through revelation, but through patience, through the willingness to sit quietly with what remains. And so, they wait. They cross-check data, compare light curves, refine models of its motion, knowing that in each new detail lies another whisper of truth. They may never meet this traveler again, but it has already done its work. It has reminded us how small we are and how vast curiosity can be. Take another breath and let that curiosity settle in you, not as a question that demands answers, but as a calm awareness of how beautiful it is to wonder. In the meantime, 3. I, divided by Atlas, keeps drifting outward. Past it, there are only stars. The sun is just one among hundreds of billions now. Its light, indistinguishable from the rest. But still, it shines. And still, the traveler carries a faint echo of its warmth. The light that touched it will continue outward for millions of years, scattering softly through dust clouds, illuminating particles that will one day become the foundations of other worlds. Nothing ever stops moving forward. Energy becomes memory, and memory becomes new creation. It's strange to think that even the faintest glimmer can ripple through eternity, but that is the truth of light. Once released, it never truly dies. So when you look up at the night sky, you are seeing the past in every direction. The long, slow stories of distant stars, their light just now arriving, after journeys older than life itself. 3I divided by Atlas 2 is now part of that story, a tiny reflection among endless reflections. Take a gentle breath and feel that timelessness unfold inside you. You are, at this very moment, existing between countless beams of ancient light. They have crossed galaxies to reach your eyes, and within them, you can find the same quiet persistence that carries 3I divided by Atlas forward. There's a peace in recognizing how steady everything truly is. Even in collapse, there is continuation. Even in silence, there is song. The universe, vast and unknowable, never stops creating harmony. Perhaps that is what holds it together. Not force, not fate, but harmony. A balance between gravity and freedom, between chaos and order, between flame and frost. And 3I divided by Atlas, that small fragment of elsewhere, has moved through all of it unchanged. No collision, no disruption, just the long glide through light and shadow alike. It has become more than a traveler now. It is a metaphor written in motion, for endurance, for peace, for the kind of strength that does not need to shout. Take another slow breath and let that image sink into your mind. You, too, are part of that same physics. Your body made of atoms that drifted through galaxies. Your heartbeat, following the same rhythm as the spin of planets and the pulse of stars. In the cosmic dance, you are not a spectator. You are a participant. The same laws that carried 3I divided by Atlas unharmed carry you through every storm of your own. The same stability that held it steady lives in the quiet part of your being. You don't need to reach for calm. You are built from it. And so, as 3I divided by Atlas fades beyond the charted heavens, it leaves behind not emptiness, but perspective. It teaches that survival does not always mean resistance. Sometimes it means moving gently, trusting the currents that carry you, and knowing when to let the light lead. Somewhere, in a future we will never see, that same object may pass close to another star. It will glow once more for a brief moment, then vanish again into night, and perhaps, on a small planet orbiting that star, someone will look up and wonder, just as we once did, about the mysterious visitor that moved through their sky. They will give it a new name, trace its path, and feel the same quiet awe. And so, the story will continue across millennia, across stars, across the very fabric of what it means to exist. Because nothing in the universe ever truly ends. Every motion becomes part of another. Every light, once seen, leaves behind a trail of meaning. Take one more deep breath, and let that continuity rest in you like a gentle tide. You are part of a story that never stops. You are movement, memory, and light. And, like 3i divided by Atlas, you are unchanged where it matters most. Quiet, steady, infinite, far beyond the faintest reach of sunlight. 3i divided by Atlas continues through the soft dark of the galactic sea. The sun is no longer a presence, only a brighter star among thousands, a familiar glow receding behind layers of interstellar haze. Here, there are no orbits, no boundaries, only movement slow, elegant, eternal. Its surface has grown colder than any winter imaginable. Each molecule of ice, locked in silence, remembers the warmth it once felt. That warmth has traveled on ahead of it, a river of photons, moving faster than memory. And so, while the object itself drifts through night, its light is still journeying outward, spreading through the universe like a whisper that never ends. Take a slow, quiet breath, and imagine that whisper moving through you, the light of something long gone, still finding new places to touch. The further 3i divided by Atlas drifts, the more it becomes a part of something vast, the web of galactic motion that binds all matter together. Every star, every planet, every grain of dust moves in harmony around the Milky Way's center, a slow rotation that takes hundreds of millions of years to complete. In that rotation, the traveler becomes a note in an invisible song, its motion another vibration in the galaxy's endless rhythm. Astronomers believe that this region of space is threaded with filaments of plasma, delicate electrical currents that stretch for light years at a time. The entire Milky Way, they say, is alive with these unseen connections. 3i, divided by Atlas, now drifts through them like a violin bow through air, each motion subtle but resonant, each fragment of dust creating a tiny pulse that joins the larger harmony. It's strange and beautiful to imagine that every silent traveler between stars contributes to the music of the cosmos, not as noise, but as balance. Take another slow breath and listen inwardly for that music. It has no melody, no rhythm you can count, and yet you feel it, the same way you feel your heartbeat. When the world around you grows still, the great void between stars is not emptiness, it is equilibrium. It holds both everything and nothing, perfectly suspended. 3i, divided by Atlas, moves through that equilibrium without disturbing it, a single point of peace, gliding through a sea of infinite calm, back on Earth, long after the telescopes have lost sight of it. The story of its passing still circulates. Researchers compare notes, amateur replay data stream, and new theories bloom quietly in observatories around the world. They speak of magnetism, of gravitational alignment, of the delicate precision that allowed the traveler to remain unshaken through the sun's most violent eruptions. No one can prove how it did it. Perhaps its composition, dense, metallic, unfamiliar, shielded it from disintegration. Perhaps its spin created a field that balanced the energy around it. Or perhaps, as some philosophers of science like to say, it did not survive despite the sun, but because of it, it danced with the storm instead of against it, and in that harmony, it found endurance. Take another breath, and let that idea rest in you, that sometimes peace is found not by resisting force, but by flowing within it. The universe often works this way. Stars collapse to create new light. Black holes consume matter and release it elsewhere as jets of brilliance. Planets die, and from their dust, new worlds are born. Everything that seems like destruction is simply transformation in disguise. 3i divided by Atlas, too, is part of that grand transformation. Its long, slow drift will continue for ages, and though it may never again feel the warmth of a star, it will never stop shaping space around it. Every particle it releases, every vibration of its passing, adds something to the cosmic pattern, a contribution so subtle that only time itself will notice. Take another breath. Let it be gentle, like a ripple crossing a quiet pond. To human eyes, this journey seems distant, impersonal, too large to feel. But in truth, you are part of it. Your atoms were once dust like this. They too wandered through space, unbound by stars, until gravity called them together and gave them shape, the shape you now inhabit, the body that breathes, the mind that wanders. 3i divided by Atlas is not outside of you. It is part of your ancestry. Its story is the story of all matter. To wander, to endure, to transform. Somewhere deep within your chest, your heartbeat echoes that truth. It is the pulse of motion that never began and will never end. The same pulse that stirs galaxies, that bends time around black holes, that guides the dance of comets and stars. You are, in every measurable way, a continuation of that same rhythm. Take another deep breath and feel the quiet of that realization. It humbles and comforts at once. In time, the data from 3i divided by Atlas will be fully catalogued. Its story will enter the archives, a chapter in the long history of cosmic observation. Future astronomers, centuries from now, will read about it and wonder how it looked, how it shone, how it felt to live in the era when it passed. And perhaps they will send new instruments to the edge of the solar system, hoping to catch a glimmer of the next visitor. Because even in the quietest sciences, hope is the force that drives discovery. That is how knowledge expands, not by rushing, but by waiting, by trusting that the universe always reveals itself to those patient enough to listen. Take one more slow breath. Feel the air travel in, linger, then leave again. That is the rhythm of everything that exists. Motion and rest, inhalation and exhalation, light and dark. The cosmos itself breathes through you. And as 3i divided by Atlas continues its long drift through infinity, you can know this much with certainty. It is not lost. It is simply elsewhere, moving through the same continuity that holds all things together. Everywhere it goes, it carries a fragment of our sunlight, and everywhere that light touches, a small part of us continues with it. You are, even now, connected to that journey, a luminous thread, woven into the infinite fabric of motion and peace. Take a final breath for this part of the story, and let it remind you that nothing truly leaves. It only becomes one with the stars. In the deep quiet between stars, 3i divided by Atlas moves like an unspoken thought. It is far beyond what any signal can reach now, past the faint exhalation of the solar wind, past the last ripples of magnetic sound. Only the galaxy hears it, a small, silent object gliding through eternity. Its motion is invisible but certain, a testament to the laws that hold everything together. Gravity still whispers to it, but faintly, gently, like the memory of a voice fading through distance. There is no drag, no friction, no opposition, just the soft continuation of a beginning that happened long before Earth's oceans ever shimmered with light. Take a slow, calming breath. Imagine that kind of stillness, a place where nothing pushes or pulls, where movement is simply the natural state of being. Scientists once called this region the interstellar medium, but it is less a place and more a texture. It hums with low frequencies of radiation, echoes from the birth of the universe itself. Some call it the cosmic background, the faint afterglow of creation. And now, 3I divided by Atlas sails through it, surrounded by the residue of beginnings. Each particle that touches it has been traveling for billions of years, perhaps since the first expansion of space. The dust that brushes against its surface may have once belonged to other galaxies, flung across endless distances by the collapse of dying stars. In this sense, every journey through space is also a journey through time. Take another slow breath. Let that awareness drift through you, that you too are surrounded by the echoes of creation. The air you breathe, the atoms in your bones, all were once part of stars. The same ancient light that moves through the galaxy moves through you as well. For the astronomers who tracked 3I divided by Atlas, its disappearance brings a strange mix of fulfillment and melancholy. They have learned nearly everything they can, yet they are left with more wonder than before, because that is the nature of discovery. The more we see, the more infinite everything becomes. They still meet sometimes, sharing new data, refining old models, arguing softly about theories that may never be proven. Some believe the object's magnetic properties interacted with the sun's field in a way that altered solar behavior for weeks. Others think it was coincidence, a moment of alignment in a universe too large for causation to always be clear. And then there are those who simply smile and say, maybe it's both, because sometimes the universe prefers paradox. Take a gentle breath. Feel how that paradox exists in you too. The balance between knowing and not knowing, between curiosity and acceptance. From a cosmic perspective, our sun is just one among countless stars. Each one hosts its own planets, its own storms, its own quiet wonders. Right now, somewhere far away, another civilization may be watching its own version of 3I divided by Atlas, another silent visitor passing through their sky. Perhaps they too wonder what it means to encounter something so old, so unchanged, so enduring. It's humbling to realize that the same mysteries repeat themselves everywhere, patterns of light and shadow woven through every corner of existence. The universe does not tell new stories. It tells the same story in endless, beautiful ways. Take another slow breath. Let that sameness comfort you, because if the stories are the same, then connection is inevitable. Nothing is alone in such a cosmos. 3I divided by Atlas carries its quiet through these repeating stories. Each system it passes near will leave a faint mark upon it, a thin layer of dust, a trace of light, a whisper of gravitational memory. Over eons, it may grow pitted and worn, its smooth surfaces etched by time, its composition altered by radiation, and yet its essence will remain. Motion, continuity, endurance. Perhaps that is what defines existence most truthfully. Not form, but persistence. To remain in motion is to remain alive, even when there is no witness. Take another deep, grounding breath. Feel the continuity of your own existence. Every heartbeat, every thought, another rotation in your personal orbit of time. In the great silence of interstellar space, the object might pass near clouds of hydrogen and dust. These clouds glow faintly when struck by radiation from distant stars, their colors hidden from human eyes, but brilliant in the wavelengths of radio light. Through such clouds, 3I divided by Atlas moves slowly, leaving behind only the smallest disturbance, a ripple so slight it will never be measured. Yet, in the scale of eternity, even the smallest ripple changes everything a little. That is how creation works, not in explosions, but in countless invisible movements, adding up to evolution. Take another breath, and let it remind you that small things matter. A single act of kindness, a moment of quiet thought, a single beam of light, traveling through the dark, all of them shape the universe in their own way. Astronomers often describe deep space as frozen motion. Everything is moving, but at such a grand scale that we cannot see it happen. Yet motion never stops. The stars are spinning, the galaxies are drifting, and through it all, tiny objects like 3I divided by Atlas carry the record of those movements, like seeds carried by cosmic wind. If you could trace its path far enough forward, you would see it looping gently around the galactic core, one small thread among a billion others. Each orbit takes hundreds of millions of years, and yet, from the galaxy's point of view, it is as natural as a breath. Take another slow breath. You are, at this very moment, a microcosm of that same motion, inhaling, exhaling, each cycle another small orbit of life. 3I divided by Atlas may never know that it has inspired awe, that its story changed how we see the universe. But perhaps that is the purest form of meaning, to create wonder without intention. It does not shine, yet it reflects. It does not move with purpose, yet it teaches. It does not speak, yet it is heard. The light it once reflected from our sun is still traveling outward, moving through the Milky Way even now, crossing between clouds of hydrogen and shadow. That light carries the fingerprint of both the traveler and the star, a dual memory of meeting and departure. It is a message without words, an eternal wave of presence. And so, somewhere far away, a distant observer may one day receive that light, decode its faint energy, and wonder what passed this way so long ago. They will not know our names, nor our sun, nor our blue planet, but they will feel the same sense of wonder we did. And that perhaps is the closest thing to immortality. Take one more breath for this quiet thought. Let it move slowly through you. The same energy that moves 3I divided by Atlas through the stars is the same energy that moves you through time. It is endless, and it is kind. The darkness that surrounds 3I divided by Atlas now is not emptiness. It is the fullness of everything unseen. Invisible particles drift through it like pollen, each one a relic of distant stars and forgotten galaxies. If you could watch them closely enough, you would see them glimmer for brief moments, as though even the smallest fragments of the universe remember how to shine. 3I divided by Atlas moves through that quiet glitter with neither resistance nor purpose. It is both ancient and present, both nowhere and everywhere. The space around it is unimaginably vast, yet perfectly still, as if the cosmos holds its breath whenever something so silent passes through. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel that same stillness expanding inside you, a pause that connects your inner world to the infinite beyond. Back home, the story of 3I, divided by Atlas, has become more than astronomy. It has entered the language of wonder. Writers, dreamers, and philosophers speak of it as a symbol of endurance, of calm amid chaos, of the kind of strength that leaves no mark but changes everything. Some call it the traveler of light, others the silent comet, but perhaps the most fitting name is simply the constant, for it passed through fire and storm and emerged unaltered. Scientists too find beauty in its simplicity. They marvel not at what it did, but at what it did not do. It did not shatter. It did not bend. It did not lose its way. In a universe built on turbulence, it stayed perfectly balanced. Proof that stillness has its own kind of power. Take another breath and imagine that power within yourself, the strength to remain calm, no matter how brightly the world burns around you. By now, the traveler has crossed into the great interstellar void between spiral arms of the galaxy. Here, stars are few and far between, their light so distant it feels more like memory than illumination. The background radiation hums like an endless sigh, soft and steady, the oldest sound in existence. This is the space between songs, a place of pure potential, where galaxies breathe and time dissolves. And yet, even here, motion continues. Nothing is ever truly still. Every atom, every photon, every unseen current moves to a rhythm so slow and constant that eternity itself becomes its measure. 3I, divided by Atlas, floats through this deep silence, like a note that refuses to fade, carrying with it the imprint of every star it has ever passed. Its surface, once warmed by sunlight, now absorbs the cold glow of distant radiation, a faint blue shimmer invisible to human eyes. It has become, in its own way, a mirror of the universe. Take another slow breath. Imagine that faint blue light spreading softly through the darkness, the universe reflected upon itself. Every so often, a tiny particle of cosmic dust collides with it, so small, so delicate, that the impact releases no sound, only a whisper of light. In that moment, for a heartbeat of time, the traveler glows, and then it is silent again. These tiny sparks are not destruction, they are communion, reminders that, even in isolation, everything still touches everything else. If you could see these glimmers from afar, they would appear like thoughts, like moments of awareness, in the mind of the galaxy itself. Perhaps that is what 3I divided by Atlas has become now. A thought traveling through space. Not a message, not a purpose, but awareness made visible. Take another breath and imagine your own awareness as a light. Not bright, not loud, but steady and kind. A consciousness drifting through the dark, connected to every other light around it. For the astronomers who watched it disappear, its image remains on their screens, a final dot of brightness against the infinite black. But in their hearts, it remains more than data. It is a meditation, a reminder that everything in motion is part of something larger and quieter. Even now, they write papers, publish analyses, calculate trajectories, but between the lines of numbers, there is reverence. They know that science, too, is a form of listening, a way to hear the universe speak without words. And in that listening, they learn humility, because in the face of something so vast, knowledge and wonder are the same thing. Take another breath and let that thought linger. Knowing is not the opposite of mystery. It is the continuation of it. Out beyond the charts and equations, 3I divided by Atlas keeps moving. Perhaps it will pass near a molecular cloud someday, a nursery of new stars. Perhaps some of its dust will seed a world not yet formed, becoming part of mountains, oceans, or the breath of new life. Perhaps, in that future world, someone will look up and feel a sudden sense of calm they cannot explain, the quiet inheritance of a visitor from the past. Everything in the universe leaves ripples, even if we never see them. Every movement, every breath, changes the whole in ways we can't measure. And so, 3i divided by Atlas continues to give long after it has left us. Take another slow breath. Let that truth comfort you, that your actions, too, create ripples that will continue. Long after you have moved on, kindness travels the same way light does, quietly, endlessly, touching what it was never meant to reach. The traveler fades farther into distance now. Its image, once crisp in telescopes, has become a mathematical ghost. Coordinates, vectors, predictions, but even as its presence dims, the peace it carried remains, because peace does not need to be visible to be real, and so it drifts, unhurried, unending, through a galaxy filled with unseen watchers, through clouds of dust that once were worlds, through currents of light that began before time was born. It carries nothing with it but stillness, and that is enough. Take one final breath for this part of the story. Inhale softly and exhale into quiet. Somewhere out there, beyond the veil of light, Atlas moves still, a testament to balance, to peace, to the infinite patience of the universe. And maybe, in its silence, it carries us too. There comes a distance so far from the sun that light itself feels slow, where brightness no longer illuminates but lingers, a faint reminder of warmth long past. 3i, divided by Atlas, moves through that realm now, a place beyond maps, beyond orbits, beyond belonging. It is no longer a visitor in our solar system. It is once again a wanderer of the galaxy, returning to the silence it has always known. Imagine this space as a great ocean, without waves, no current pushes, no wind guides, yet everything drifts in harmony. Out here, gravity is soft, a whisper among stars. Each atom floats in patient surrender. Each ray of light stretches into infinity. And within that infinite calm, the traveler glides on, small, unseen, eternal. Take a long, slow breath and let your mind drift outward with it. Let the edges of thought dissolve into the same vast stillness that carries this quiet body through the dark. Somewhere behind it, the sun still shines. Its golden light touches planets, clouds, oceans, and the hearts of those who look up each night in wonder. But none of that light will reach 3i divided by Atlas again. The traveler has passed into another kind of illumination, the glow of galactic radiation, the faint shimmer of stars millions of years away. It moves not by direction, but by momentum, a pure continuation of being. Scientists say that, statistically, objects like this are common. Thousands, maybe millions, cross the Milky Way every year, but only a few are ever seen, their fleeting appearances reminding us that even the most ordinary motions of the universe can be extraordinary when witnessed. And perhaps that is what makes 3i divided by Atlas so beautiful. Not that it was rare, but that we noticed that for a moment in our brief human history, we looked up and we saw something ancient moving through our present. Take another breath. Let that realization soften you, that noticing is its own kind of participation. To witness the universe is to belong to it. When the object passed its closest approach to the sun, Instruments recorded a quiet surge in solar output, 3 eruptions, perfectly timed, as if answering the traveler's passage. To many, it seemed coincidence. To others, a sign of subtle connection. But whichever it was, it felt like a conversation, a silent exchange between 2 ancient forces, light meeting motion, heat meeting endurance. Now, that conversation has ended. The sun turns inward once more, its storms fading into gentle rhythm. The traveler moves on, its dark surface, carrying the memory of light, like a faint echo that can never be erased. Take another slow breath, and imagine that echo, drifting endlessly through the void, never growing weaker, only spreading thinner. A memory that becomes part of everything it touches. In time, the glow of distant stars will bathe 3i divided by Atlas in new colors. Radiation from nebulae, cosmic rays from supernovae, and the faint, humming background of the universe itself will polish its surface molecule by molecule. It will gather tiny scars, each one a signature of passage, a record of cosmic time. And though it will change in appearance, its motion will remain true. The orbit will not bend, the path will not break. It will keep its promise to move, without hurry, without hesitation. Perhaps that is the purest form of perfection, not stillness, but movement so constant, it becomes indistinguishable from peace. Take another deep breath. Let that rhythm live inside you, the rhythm of continuation. On Earth, the seasons have changed. The storm that once flared across the sun has become a story. Students learn its data in classrooms. Astronomers quote it in journals. But for many who saw it firsthand, it remains a feeling, a memory of looking at a sky and realizing how fragile and magnificent existence truly is. Every discovery begins with data, but it ends with wonder. Because beyond the numbers, science is an act of reverence. It is a way of saying, I see you, universe, and I am listening. And so, 3i divided by Atlas continues, its path no longer measured in kilometers, but in centuries. Perhaps one day, it will drift near another system. Perhaps another star will awaken its surface with warmth. For the first time in millions of years, perhaps another civilization will notice its glow and ask the same questions we asked. What is it? Where did it come from? Why does it move unchanged? If so, then in some small way, our observation continues too. Our light will be part of its light, our curiosity part of their discovery. The universe is generous that way. It allows everything to echo, everything to return in new form. Take another slow breath. You are breathing that same generosity now. The air around you once belonged to ancient stars, to forgotten worlds, to things that moved through fire and came out whole. You are proof that endurance and renewal are the same thing said in different languages. The traveler's motion is not heroic. It does not defy the cosmos. It cooperates with it. Its peace comes from participation, not resistance. And maybe that is the greatest lesson it leaves behind for us. When life feels chaotic, when forces around you surge and twist, remember that even storms obey rhythm. Even the sun, in all its fury, beats with order. And even in the fiercest light, there is a calm center, a place where you can simply glide through, unchanged at the core. 3i divided by Atlas did not survive the storm by fighting. It survived by knowing its path. It trusted the physics written within it, the deep, silent truth. That motion guided by balance cannot be broken. Take another breath. Let that truth settle deep within you. You are guided by the same principles, carried by the same forces. You are part of the same motion, and nothing can take that away. As the traveler recedes into the black sea of the galaxy, its light merges with the glow of billions of stars. It is indistinguishable now, a single note, joining the endless harmony, and yet its story remains unique because we noticed, we looked up, and for a moment, we saw our own reflection in the silence of space. Take one more breath, feel the connection, the thread that ties you, the traveler, and the stars together. It is the same thread of motion, of peace, of infinite continuation. The galaxy turns slowly, and within its spiral arms, 3 I divided by Atlas drifts, a single fleck of light among hundreds of billions. Its orbit is not bound, its motion not directed. It moves because motion is what the universe does best. Time, at this distance, loses meaning. Years, centuries, even millennia become gentle ripples on an ocean too vast to measure. For 3 I divided by Atlas, there is no past, only the quiet continuity of now, a forever in motion. Take a slow breath and let that sense of timelessness enter you. Imagine your own worries dissolving, shrinking down until they are lighter than dust, carried away by invisible currents. Scientists on Earth continue to map the paths of other interstellar travelers, objects that may someday pass near our Sunday. Each discovery feels like a reunion, another echo of 3I. Divided by Atlas, another reminder that our solar system is not a closed world but a crossroads. Space is full of arrivals and departures. We only need to be still long enough to notice. There is a gentle lesson hidden in that truth, that life, like the cosmos, is not meant to be controlled, but experienced as it flows through you. The stars do not hurry. The galaxies do not compete for speed. Even light itself, though fast beyond imagination, moves without strain. 3I divided by Atlas embodies that ease. It travels not as an exile, but as a thread in a larger weave. Somewhere far ahead, its path will cross through new dust clouds, perhaps grazing the edge of another solar wind. Each encounter will leave a mark too small to see, but in the vast arithmetic of existence, every motion matters. Take another deep breath and feel the truth of that within you. You are not separate from this story. You are one of its expressions, a brief, bright consciousness, born from the same elements that move between suns. As it journeys farther, the traveler will one day pass through the galaxy's outer veil into the intergalactic dark. Beyond that lies nothing familiar. No maps, no orbits, no comforting light. But even there, the pattern continues. Even there, motion remains. It's almost impossible to grasp, and yet comforting all the same. The idea that nothing in the universe is ever truly still, and nothing, not even silence, is ever truly alone. Take one last slow, grounding breath. Let the air move through you like starlight, quiet, effortless, éternel. Somewhere, in that endless dark, 3I, divided by Atlas, continues its graceful drift, unchanged, unwavering, its journey now indistinguishable from infinity itself. And though we will never see it again, its story will live wherever wonder survives, in every gaze turned upward, in every quiet moment of awe, because the traveler's light, like all light, never truly fades. The universe is vast enough to hold every silence you can imagine. In it, time stretches like light, soft and unhurried, and 3I divided by Atlas continues to drift through that measureless expanse, a single note in a song that has no beginning, no end. Even now, long after the telescopes fell quiet, its journey goes on, no longer bound to our star. It moves among others, crossing invisible borders, threading through regions where galaxies breathe like tides. The Milky Way turns slowly beneath it, arms columns of light curling and uncurling in endless motion. 3. I, divided by Atlas, is part of that dance now, a wanderer, folded into the rhythm of everything that ever was. Take a slow, quiet breath. Let your mind follow that path, out beyond the reach of familiar stars, out into the patient dark. There, distance stops being something to cross and becomes something to rest in. No one knows where the traveler will go next. Perhaps it will glide through a faint nebula, dust shimmering like dreams around its passing. Perhaps it will enter another system one day, where a different sun will light its surface, and another civilization will watch, wondering what kind of message it carries. Or perhaps it will never be seen again, remaining forever between stars, an eternal drift through shadow and silver. And yet, it does not vanish. In physics, motion cannot be undone. Every path leaves an imprint on space, a slight curvature, a change so subtle that only the fabric of the cosmos itself can feel it. That means that 3I divided by Atlas, in its quiet way, has reshaped the universe ever so slightly. It has left a mark that will never fade. Take another breath and think of how even the smallest motion can alter everything around it. You are part of that same law. Every thought, every kindness, every breath you take is an act of motion that ripples outward. Nothing you do is lost. Astronomers sometimes describe interstellar space as a sea of possibility, a place where dust becomes stars and energy becomes new creation. To them, 3I divided by Atlas is not an ending, but a seed cast into the cosmic field. Its matter will outlast suns. Its motion will continue long after our galaxy fades. And maybe that is what permanence really means. Not stillness, but endless transformation. The object's story has already entered legend among those who study the stars, not because it changed its course, but because it didn't. In a universe filled with disruption and collapse, it moved unchanged. It passed through storms and remained itself. That, too, is a kind of wisdom, to endure without resisting, to move without fear. Take another slow breath. Imagine carrying that same stillness within you, the strength to move through everything life sends your way, without losing your center. The galaxies above you move in slow spirals. Nebulae expand, supernovae bloom and fade, and through it all, tiny travelers like 3I divided by Atlas carry the memory of what has been. They are the messengers of continuity, the bridges between past and future. They remind us that time is not a straight line, but a circle, a loop of endless returning, where everything once lost finds its way again in a new form. It is said that light itself never stops traveling. Every beam ever released by every star still moves through space right now, carrying the story of its origin. Some of that light has touched your eyes. Some has touched 3I divided by Atlas. And so, in ways too intricate to measure, you and it share the same illumination, the same glow that brushes your world, brushes its frozen surface, somewhere deep in the dark. Take another gentle breath. You are connected to that light. It moves through you as surely as it moves through every star. Perhaps that is the hidden truth within every cosmic story. That connection is the universe's most fundamental law. Nothing stands alone. Every planet, every person, every drifting fragment of dust belongs to the same unfolding motion. We are all pieces of the same quiet whole. As the years pass, 3I divided by Atlas will continue beyond our knowing, long after our species is gone, long after our sun has cooled into silence. It will still be moving, carrying within it the faint fingerprint of our shared encounter. For a brief time, our light touched it, and it reflected that light back to us. That exchange, so small, so brief, will continue echoing forever. So perhaps that is the true miracle of this story. Not the object itself, but what it revealed about us. That we are capable of looking into infinity, and instead of fear, we find wonder. That we can look at silence, and instead of emptiness, we find peace. Take another slow breath, and feel that peace now. It is not somewhere far away. It is within you, woven into every atom that once belonged to a star. In the stillness of night, when the world is quiet, listen for the low hum beneath everything, the heartbeat of space. It is steady. It is kind. It is the same rhythm that carries 3I divided by Atlas forward, and the same rhythm that carries you through every moment of your life. Let that rhythm lull you now. Let it remind you that you are safe in this vastness, that the universe moves with you, not against you. All that was, and all that will ever be, is part of this single, endless breath. Take one final breath in, and release it slowly, letting it fade into the quiet around you. The traveler drifts on, the stars continue to burn, and you, a fragment of their same light, rest beneath their glow, alive in the gentle gravity of existence. And as 3I divided by Atlas drifts farther into the deep, its story settles into quiet eternity, a gentle reminder that even the smallest traveler can hold the patience of stars. We've followed its path from fire to silence, through solar storms, through light and shadow, and into the boundless dark that waits beyond. But what remains is not the distance it traveled, it's the calm it leaves behind. That calm belongs to all of us now. Take a final slow breath, and let it remind you that you, too, are made of that same cosmic endurance, the same stardust, the same unbroken motion. Thank you for sharing this quiet journey with me tonight. If the story of 3I divided by Atlas helped you feel a little smaller, and yet somehow more connected to everything, I'd love to know, what did this traveler make you think of most? Was it the silence, the sunlight, or the simple idea of moving through chaos unchanged? Share your thoughts below. I read every reflection, and each one becomes part of this growing constellation of curiosity. If you'd like to keep exploring the universe in peace, remember to subscribe to Fall Asleep to Science. There are more journeys waiting, each one a quiet place to breathe, to wonder, and to rest. When this video ends, you'll see others waiting on your screen. Stories of stars, of oceans, of galaxies still unfolding. Choose whichever calls to you, and let it carry you further into calm. Until next time, sleep well, stay curious, and may the universe gently embrace you.